Greetings, greetings, greetings. I am not in the lab, nor am I in JL Justice League headquarters. I'm in the headquarters. I'm in the headquarters, Hot 2100 Savannah and the world. I am here, and we have a special guest. He's been on before. We have our special guest, and with some of you all know, he is also my mortal enemy. He's also my mortal enemy. My mortal enemy. Coach Rob DeLoach, again, my one of my greatest mortal enemies in the whole wide world. Coach Rob DeLoach, how are you? Glad to have you here, Coach DeLoach. Let me go put it on out there. No slander is allowed. No defamation is allowed. We don't slander nor defame on Run Tell That. Go ahead, Coach DeLoach. How you doing, Coach DeLoach?
Hey, Dr. Jamal, I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me on again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so, is some things happening. Some things are happening. And so um, we're gonna do this right here this weekend. This coming Saturday. This coming Saturday. excuse me, excuse me. May 3rd, from 10 to 1 p.m. It is basically Threads of Hope. Threads of Hope, a community clothing drive that's presented by Caton Homes, Public Housing Development, and the Factory 2.0. The Factory 2.0. Y'all know Factory 2.0. Y'all know who that is. Oh wait, that's the other one. Factory 2.0. I could have sworn I had did it, but I guess didn't save that one. We'll bring it back up. Let y'all see who Factory 2.0, y'all know, which is led by Coach Rob DeLoach. And that's going on this coming Saturday. And so, but we got to do this right here. This is the introduction. Let y'all know this right here, because this is a great event that is happening and put on by one of our own.
Saturday, May 3rd, from 10 to 1 p.m. The little-known HBJ alum, Rob DeLoach, Factory 2.0, is having this event. This is, again, for the people, the residents of the Caton Home community, that, again, this is, we're providing them with clothes. If you have clothes, we want clean clothes that you may have gently used them, may have used them, but wash them, provide them to Caton Home so we can give to young people in the community and adults in the community also. So this is a clothing drive that we're doing May 3rd, from 10 to 1 p.m. right there in Caton Homes. See the flyer right here. We want your support. Again, this is done by the little-known HBJ alum, Rob DeLoach, and Factory 2.0.
Doc.
It is always wonderful, wonderful to have Coach DeLoach, because y'all know he always got going. Factory 2.0, great organization, great institution here in this area. And so glad. Threads of Hope, Coach. What is Threads of Hope? Put it on out there for the folks. Threads of Hope. And we said, all y'all share, share, share.
But first of all, Doc, I appreciate the intro, but there's a little error in the introduction.
See, Coach DeLoach. Coach DeLoach, am I supposed to mute you right now? Am I supposed to mute you? Because it seems like it's some threats going on here, Coach DeLoach.
No, Doc, we speak the truth on Run and Tell That.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Right. Yeah, the truth is, I didn't live on the other side of 37th Street. So I didn't attend little-known Savannah Christian, who later became H.V. Jenkins High School. And Dr. Jamal Teray, better known as Carl Lee, was one of the first blacks to be integrated into HVJ. He originally started at Savannah Christian on Rand, and doing integration, he changed his name from Claude Lee and went to Dr. Jamal Teray and became a Hall of Famer, as you know now, as Herschel V. Jenkins High School. Well, with that being said, Threads of Hope is bringing hope to that community over in Caton Homes. It's a great opportunity for our community to, bring their semi-used clothes or clean clothes or even new clothes over, and we can help close that community not only for the spring, for the summer as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, what motivated you with regards to this?
Doc, it's always good to be able to help someone, right? And just being able to network with other people in the community, just saw a need that we can, spread some love and get involved in the community. We don't have to be a big organization to help someone. And this is the first of many. And with this event, I've got phone calls that 2 weeks out of the month in the summer, we're going to feed different neighborhoods in the community, and those are just friends of mine that are going to participate in this event. And like I said, we do a community every weekend, and we do two communities a day. So I'm looking forward to that opportunity as well. So the clothing drive is just one of many activities that we're going to put together throughout the rest of the year.
That's some major momentum. And so this is what I wanted people to see with regard to Factory 2.0. It cannot be done without and Ivy Deloach. Can't be done. That's why I had to make sure I acknowledge that. I got throughout there, Sister Ivy Deloach, she makes it happen. Rob is the face, but then guess what? He got that partner right there who helped makes it possible. And that's why his son Jalen had went to Jenkins, then transferred on up to school, Berkmar and all that. So, but again, Coach Rob Deloach, he had 2 generations of HBJ Warriors in his blood. That's what. So yes, a wonderful thing. And so with that, Coach, how can people get in touch with you all regarding this if they want to participate, want to donate any items?
Well, they can always reach out to me. I think the number is listed at 912-224-5769. I am on Twitter at Rob_Deloach, and I am on Facebook as Rob Deloach as well. So, and they always have you, Dr. Jamal, to be able to connect. And also, they're able to drop clothes off at the Housing Authority on 644 Gwinnett Street. They have a closet that we're staging clothes for now. And if they want to bring clothes on the day of the event, we will start setting up and accepting clothes around 7:30 on Saturday morning. The event actually kicks off at 10, but we'll do some pre-preparation and sorting, to get everything aligned for when the families come through.
Okay. All right. And this is, again, we're listening to you. You're looking at doing other events during the summer. And Factory 2.0, what is Factory 2.0? People know you as the factory, but Factory 2.0, what is Factory 2.0?
It's really just an outreach to the community.
Hold on just for a second. Is that because it's 2 generations from HBJ? You and JJ, 2 generations? Okay, but go ahead.
I'm not that smart to articulate that. No, it's just, I've been involved in sports in the community where I, coach Little League sports, coach middle school, and now working with, the great Sam Carter over at the gym. And those kids are athletes, but you always have to look out for the kids that don't play sports. So I decided to start a nonprofit to be able to work in the community outside of being related to a sports event. So last year we hosted the STEM camp out at Memorial Stadium. And this year we changed it up where we're going to do some, clothing giveaway in the community. So when I started this, it's mostly just to be an outreach to the community at any facet that I deem necessary that we can give back.
Okay. You said you had the STEM camp. Now, I'll let you know, some people have been out there kind of curious about the STEM camp this year right here because it was a success last year. So are you looking at doing the STEM camp again? Because that's, again, I'm saying that's a part of the lore now of Factory 2.0.
Well, I've been trying to partner with Georgia Tech this year, but right now the scheduling has been a conflict, using the facility out off of I-95 and Jimmy Deloach. But I'm not going to give up on it. And if not, then we may, plan to go back to the stadium at Memorial Stadium or, partner with someone else. That event was my first, but I was able to bring engineers in from Eastern Michigan University. And, Coach Obed Johnson, he came out and taught kids how to do rockets. So it's a lot of networking, to be able to pull off that event. We had people come down from Richmond, Virginia. So that was a big deal. But the networking part is the easy part. It's just scheduling a date and a time here in Savannah.
Yes, sir. And so communities, and then you're looking at kicking it off with regards to the meals and the weekend meals. When are you projected? And again, we just saying projected, because I want anybody out there going to say, well, Coach DeLoach said we're going to start, because sometimes things might happen, because y'all know we're going to be in hurricane season and all that right there. So what's the projected time period you think with regards to that?
Well, it's probably going to be in the next 2 weeks, Doc, because we have this weekend is that we're doing, the closing drive. Next weekend is Mother's Day. And then probably the following weekend that we'll pick 2 communities in the city of Savannah, and then we'll feed those communities. We kind of have it like a big birthday party is the theme that we want to promote. That we're going to have a birthday party in this community, and just feed the kids and their families. Not a big meal, but maybe some hamburgers, some hot dogs, some chips, some drinks, and things like that. So, just want to get more involved, and hopefully the young people and other people in the community see the work that we're doing and join in as well.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw it out there for Can Park, Jackson Park. Can Park, Jackson Park has to be the third Saturday in July. The third Saturday in July. Because my birthday is that fourth Saturday on the 26th. And I got to go do Gullah Geechee Family Day on St. Helena. I got to go do it over there on my birthday. So before that, since it's birthday celebration, so it's being announced right now. The third weekend, the third Saturday in Can Park, Jackson Park. That's when it'll be right there, and it'll be my birthday because in July. So I'm just throwing it out there. I'm working on the schedule.
Hey, Doc, that's good. You can be having an event going on, and we can be having one going on as well.
No, I'm saying that I'm supposed to be part of the event that y'all doing that's in Can Park, Jackson Park.
We got to talk to the mayor. We have to, in order to go to Can Park, you have to talk to the mayor over there. And I haven't had that conversation with the mayor to be able to go in Can Park, Jackson Park.
Well, we have the Can Park, Jackson Park Neighborhood Association that I'm a member of. So yeah, so we have the Can Park, Jackson Park Neighborhood Association.
Okay.
The city of Savannah.
Do I need to submit a letter to be able to do this?
Well, I think what might be good is that you know what? When our meeting, we need to probably have you get on the agenda for our meeting, So yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll talk with them. And so that way I'll say that the great HVJ alum who went to Beach High School, he's looking at doing this in July. So yeah, so we can at least put it on to let the people know. So yeah, so that's what's going on. So a great day in Can Park, Jackson Park about to ensue because great people live right over there. So
that's my old stomping ground. So
yes, sir. That's what we are aware of. Because again, he's a bulldog. But then he's also a warrior too. And so that's the wonderful thing that we tell people, hey, check it on out. Greatness abounds, especially when you're tied to HVJ. Greatness abounds. And so you can't beat it. So yes, sir. So we are appreciative of that. And what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a break. We're going to come right back. We got Coach Rob DeLoach, and we got Threads of Hope. And what the Threads of Hope means, so with regards to that, we're going to be getting into that. So just hold on a second. We're going to go to this commercial break and then come right back to Coach Rob DeLoach, my mortal enemy.
Savannah, are you looking for some of the best Southern soul food? Then check out Kim's Cafe at 714 MLK Boulevard. The food is so good, you'll think that your mother cooked it. Located in the heart of Savannah, Kim's has a menu that includes breakfast anytime, lunch when you need it, and dinner so you won't have to cook when you get home. They also cater all types of events and can host your reserved event at the restaurant. Come see what everyone has been raving about. Great food, great atmosphere, and a great time. Kim's Cafe, 714 MLK Boulevard in beautiful downtown Savannah.
Need your garments cleaned with care and with a professional touch? Then bring them to One Price Cleaners in Garden City at the Old Farmers Market on Highway 80. Service you can count on.
This is Rontel, and we got with us Coach Rob DeLoach, Factory 2.0, and he has an event going on, Threads of Hope. But we say to all of you, support our supporters. One Price Cleaners located in the Farmers Market in Garden City on Highway 80 that you all saw. Kim's Cafe, 714 MLK Junior Boulevard. Guess what? Go see Kima and Jade and tell them that we sent you there, and harass them when you go there too. So yes, I got this, throw it on out there, harass them. Chef Food and Gas, don't ride by, stop by. Davis Johnson Boastman Law Firm offices in Savannah, Atlanta, and Statesboro. Hot 2100 Savannah and the world, hot21savannah.com. Music for you to like chill and relax. Lady Lynn Roberts gets on my nerves because she don't like to play what I request when it's that 1 o'clock hour for the song request. So Coach Rob DeLoach.
Talk to me, Doc.
Huh?
Talk to me.
Threads of Hope. Threads of Hope. Why we gotta have hope, Coach? Why we gotta have Coach? I mean, Coach, why we gotta have hope? Why we gotta have hope?
Coach,
Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is okay.
Yeah, maybe up under your roof, Doc, but we got to make sure that our young people get exactly what they deserve. They deserve an opportunity to be successful as well, Doc. And the summer's coming up, and we want the kids to have some clothing if they want to partake in, go to events. And I'm not saying that community doesn't have it, but if we can give a little more and help some of the parents over there. And the good thing, Doc, I was contacted by a few parents, and they're actually looking forward to the situation. It was, a couple of young ladies. They said they're single parents and they have 2 or 3 children. And, I'm excited because anytime you get a chance to see, a person appreciate what you're trying to do, and hopefully we can motivate them, to help somebody else. It's just too easy, Doc, to help someone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, from 10 to 1 p.m. And what all you gonna have out there again for people just not joining us? What else you gonna have out there? You got clothes. What else you gonna have out there?
We may have some entertainment. So I try to partner with the house party boys. They're probably gonna come out and give us some entertainment. We have volunteers to come out as well, and we get to network. We get to meet some new people that we've never met before. We get to fellowship. We get to tell our stories and just share with that community as well. And I just think it's a good overall event for our city and for that community.
Okay. All right. Again, we said all y'all share, Coach Rob DeLoach. And we have this event that is going on this weekend. We want y'all to be involved with it. Again, it is Threads of Hope, a community clothing drive with other elements. This is going on Saturday, May 3rd, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. done by Factory 2.0. We will not be able to have Factory 2.0 if it was not for Miss Ivy DeLoach and Coach Rob DeLoach. Would not be able to do it. They make it happen. So they're making it happen for us to help make it happen. And so, Coach, there's a lot that's happening in what we're involved in. And so with some of this right here, I'm glad to have you all tuning in, from Gianna to Randall to Deidre to Leon, because Deidre already said she got some stuff she's going to have. Other people saying they're going to have the stuff. So glad to have all you all. Michael, glad to have all you checking out the show. Because again, this is what it's about. And we say spread the word, share the word, let people know. And so we got some things that are happening that, again, that's pertinent, that is tied to not just that community, but all the communities tied to our people. And so we're going to throw this on out here too, because again, this is something we're going to have a conversation about.
Peace and blessings. This is a Gullah observation. Well over 20 years ago, I was with WW Law. You all know WW Law. If you don't know WW Law, then you need to learn about WW Law. And all that means that you don't know where you are. You might say you're from Savannah. You have moved to Savannah. You love Savannah. WW Law, you need to know who that is. Civil rights leader, preservationist, and historian. So several years ago, decades ago, I was at WW Law in this very cemetery right here. This very cemetery, some of y'all know, some of y'all don't know, so I need to let y'all know. Laurel Grove Cemetery South. So I'm here with WW Law, and we are here for a program for Memorial Day to celebrate the United States colored troops that I'm glad to say that one of my ancestors was a part of. So we're here to celebrate them. And I'm out here early with Mr. Law. So Mr. Law and I are at the burial site where they list as the slave burial area, which is, again, it's not just free people over there also. So we're over there. And I told Mr. Law when I was out there, and I told him about what happened for me at Savannah State. Dr. Haynes Walton, the father of black politics, the study of black politics, along with Ron Walters, Dr. Haynes Walton, my professor, my mentor, discussed with us in one of our black politics classes about that in Savannah, Georgia, that the city of Savannah, or the government here, created a swimming hole for black folks, but created a swimming pool for Caucasians. Yes, Dr. Walton shared with us in class that the government, the institutions here created a swimming hole for black folks to swim in. But a swimming pool is created for Caucasian. And a Negro minister charged the black children coming there a nickel to swim in a swimming hole. And I told Mr. Law when I was out here in the cemetery with him that always intrigued me. And I was trying to find out where the swimming hole was. And so what happened, Mr. Law didn't say anything to me. He was stooped over and he was working on one of the headstones. And so I said, Mr. Law, I'm trying to find out where is it? Where was it, Mr. Law? Mr. Law, where was it? Law never said anything to me at all. Law said nothing to me, and Law kept doing like that. And and finally it hit me like, wait a minute, Mr. Law is pointing over there. And so when I look over there, I realize, Tompkins swimming pool. Oh my God, Tompkins swimming pool. What we now have, Tompkins swimming pool, was the swimming hole that was created for black folks to swim in. We were not even allowed to have a swimming pool. We were not allowed, the city of Savannah, the governmental institutions here would not allow us to have a swimming pool. But we had a swimming hole, and Mr. Law pointed out. And again, as I tell folks, see, when you don't know your story, you do some stupid things. So right now, I have to ask this question. Why do adults fail the children and then blame the children? You provide no recreational opportunities for the children. You lock up baseball fields, and Tar Rose says, give me the key, I'll open it up, and so the kids can come and play. They deny him.
Coach Deloach, why do the adults fail the children? And then blame the children. That would not only they fail the children, but then they blame the children. So
yes, Doc, you and I, we spoke about this earlier on numerous occasions.
Yes, sir.
I spoke about this probably in early 2000 about nobody's listening, right? We went around to different parks and talked about the history of the parks in Savannah as a kid until here we are now in 2025. And the parks are still in the same situations they were when I was a kid. And those communities are not the same communities as they were when you and I grew up. Did we just say the Cam Park, Jackson Park area? It's just not. It's just not the same community. But the swimming pools around the city of Savannah not only allowed us to swim, it allowed us to have competition amongst each other in the different neighborhoods. Because from there, you learn how to swim, you learn how to dive, you learn how to compete. And then, at some point, if you were good enough, we would go and swim against the other pools around the city of Savannah. And then from there, we would form a city of Savannah, Chatham County team, and then we would go compete at the state level. But the biggest thing in that, Doc, you had 3 sessions in the day. You could go swim at 11 o'clock, you get free lunch, and then you can go back to the 3 o'clock session, And if you lived on the west side, you can go from Tompkins Center Pool, then you can walk up to the May Street Y Pool, or you could cut through the graveyard and go to the Coverdale Pool. So you always had options, and it kept us out of trouble, and you got opportunity to meet new people at the pool. So it's bigger than, what people perceive the pools to be. They were more than just a place for, jumping in and cooling off.
And so you talked about that community connection. And so we see young people not having opportunities. And so they become susceptible. And I throw this out to folks, they become susceptible to things like this. They become susceptible to where they call themselves YN John, YN Peter, YN Pooh Shiesty. And like I said, why not call yourselves YG? I mean, YG, Young God. but then you call yourself YN, and then it goes right to Malcolm. I say, who taught you to hate yourself? Who taught you to hate you? Hate the thing that God created you to be. And so then we have to acknowledge the passing of Jawanza Kunjufu, the great scholar Jawanza Kunjufu, who wrote the book Counter Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. He got part 1 and part 2. Then locally we have someone, Michael Porter, who lives in the Can Park, Jackson Park neighborhood, but he then wrote a book called Kill Them Before They Grow, Kill Them Before They Grow. Then also, he did this long before many other people. He talked about how rap was being used to eroticize our children, eroticize our young people. And then also, Michael has another book called The Conspiracy to Destroy Black Women. So again, we got Jawanza who's putting it out there. And so then we're looking at now, you got people miseducating our people. So then they find it acceptable to be a YN, but not to be a YG. And so again, and we have many times, it's not just the young people, but we have the adults involved in this who say, let them be. And then all of a sudden, when now you see some harm coming about in the community, then they're critical of this right there. And so, Coach, what are the things we need to do to stem the tide of some of that? What are some of the conversations we need to be having? Because you and I talk about it. So publicly, what are some things we need to be doing with regard to that?
Doc, we got to hold people accountable. You know, we elect these representatives to represent you in these communities, but we don't hold accountable. You know, because it's us, the adults, that mess it up for the kids, and then we wonder why the kids don't have anything to do, and then we create all of these. Are we going to send them to jail? We're going to hold them accountable. We're going to prosecute them to the fullest. That's all reactive, right? We're not trying to present anything proactive in our community for whatever reason. And you know, for me, Doc, I've always said I think it's intentional because the only thing that's operational 24/7 in the city of Savannah is the juveniles, the jails, and the funeral homes. And a lot of times when you look at that, it's our young people because they're out after midnight. And, you know, old people always said nothing happens good after midnight. But in retrospect, they got to have something to do. And you know as well as I do, when you ride around the city of Savannah and you look at the athletic facilities, the majority of them are locked up where they don't have access to run on the fields. They don't have opportunity to play football. They don't have opportunity to play baseball. All of the high school that have tracks are locked up after hours once the kids are going home from school. There's no ability for those kids in the community to use those resources to keep them out of trouble. We know we are a hosted city, and at some point we got to have somebody work in those hotels. We got to have somebody to fold those sheets. We got to have somebody work in the back of those restaurants. The ones that we target is our young people who are uneducated. You know, and then we offer these programs that they can get a job. You know, but you know, to me, it just doesn't make sense when we have some of the brightest minds here in the city of Savannah with our young people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that becomes a part of the dilemma that we're facing right now. And you talk about leadership, that again, what I've been trying to do too, trying to pull something up, but I've had some difficulty with regard to that because again, it's based on, I guess, everybody's using the internet. And so it's moving kind of slow. And it's something, a conversation that we had and that you've shared about churches, churches being in communities. And what are the roles of churches in communities, in particular in our communities, Coach Deloach? What's your thoughts on that?
To serve, meet people where they're at, you know, and you know, we talked about this, Doc. Yes, we're helping out the Caton Homes community, but on the flip side of Gwinnett Street, there's a Fraser Home community. And that one community, Doc, from the Gwinnett Street side, I think it's one or two churches. And if you go down the May Street side, it's two churches or three. If you swing on around Anderson Street, it's another church. And then if you go down MLK, it's probably 15 churches, right? And I told you, if you look at the parking lots of those churches and they're full with cars, and you don't see any foot soldiers in that one corridor of Fraser Homes, no foot soldiers walking into those churches, then I believe, in my opinion, that we're underserving that community. And it's one of the high crime communities in the city of Savannah that sits in the heart of the city, especially in the African American community. So what are our leaders doing in the pulpits? Are they only preaching to the ones that come in the cars? or are they going out into the communities and meet the people where they are and the young kids?
Absolutely, absolutely. Touching bases, touching the pulse of the community, touching the pulse. And James, we appreciate that. And again, you throw it out there, information and fun. Can't beat this, and that's what we try to put it out there. And that's why this event that's going on Saturday, that's what it's connected to. That's part of what it's tied to. Again, fun, information, but also relationships and connections that can be fostered that can help bring about change. And so on, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at trying to bring about change because it's crucial that we're going to address the change in our community. Again, we know the summer's about to come up, and people said horrible things with regards to the prognostication that it's like it is almost expected that somebody will cause harm to somebody during the summer. That is
Yes.
loss of life. That is absolutely insane. You do all the things to prevent that from happening. You do all the things to make sure that that doesn't occur. But when you got that insanity that has you around here thinking that no, this is a part of the course of life. No, that's not a part of the course of life.
No.
Life is about being life affirming and living life, experiencing life, not being afraid of life. And so that's what we create these atmospheres where folks are afraid, where folks are threatened. So again, we say no. That's what we have to be about, making sure that we bring about the best world possible with regards to our young people, our elders in these communities, because our elders are stuck there all the time. The youth go out and come back, but the youth also have to experience the trauma, then function in another place. Then also you have people who work there in these communities, still got to go work at another place, but experiencing trauma. And so our job is to try to help alleviate that trauma, or to work to alleviate that trauma, not try, but to work to alleviate that trauma. That's what this is about. And Threads of Hope, again, Coach, and Threads of Hope, it is sponsored by whom and why?
It's a community event. I just happen to be just one aspect of this. The Friday 2.0. This is my community service opportunity to give back, and be able to help on so many fronts. And hopefully, from this, we would feel calls from other people that just want to get involved in the community. Like I said, it doesn't take much to give back. You just got to want to do it, right? And I think it's people that want to do it. They just don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
You can start up your own nonprofit. It's not that hard to do if you want to do it, and you don't necessarily have a nonprofit because this is free. There's no funds being collected for this. I've received donations to be able to buy new clothes for the kids and the families, and that's through my nonprofit. Is why I started it. So everybody that's donating will have an opportunity to get a receipt, and it'd be a tax write-off for them, which is good. I haven't posted the link because I'm not doing it for donations. I'm doing it just to get people to hopefully get some clothes out of their closets that they're not utilizing, that are clean and good condition, and be able to help this community. And hopefully everything that we collect that we can give away. And Doc, you and I spoke about this going forward. If I ever have this again, I would like to set up a closet for kids that attend Savannah State that we can take clothes out to the campus, and they can have a closet for kids, that maybe be less fortunate, and then when they come to college, they don't have to wear the same clothes over and over again. That we can always, help that community as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Being a servant to all. Being a
Doc,
servant.
it's too easy to be a servant. The one thing that I will say for me growing up as a youth, I had Mr. Bo Levette, Lucius Levette, is one of my great mentors. He's with the PALS organization, but when
Yes.
it came to community involvement, he didn't care what organization you play with. He was going to get the best and the brightest athletes, and he would challenge you. And that was probably one of my first opportunities to get on the road to go play sports, is playing with Mr. Bo Levette. We had Coach Holmes on the east side, and we had Bo Levette on the west side, and we had Coach Jenks and Coach Roberts out in Garden City. The west side, Freeze. We had people to look up to, and those guys were steadfast in the community. They helped mentor us as young boys, and I never forgot that. So I'm at a stage in my life where I can want to give back, and it's based on the backs of those who've done it before me.
And yes, and that's what we're going to bring it up. Getting that continuation of the legacy of others who've touched your life, who you're now able to touch the lives of other people, which again is essential to all of us. That's why we say that we're life affirming, that life is about affirming life going forward with regards to this. And so, again, yes, it's about us speaking truth to power when power is not doing what they're supposed to do for the citizens. So that's why we understand how crucial it is for us to do that. And with regards to Caton Homes is one of many communities where we have young people who experience trauma. We've seen
Mhm.
homicides occur in Caton Homes and also on the other public housing development, Fraser Homes also. So this is our way now to make sure that again the change will come. That again, it's the planting of the season. What you're doing with Threads of Hope, coach, you're not providing that thread of that seed now to cause somebody to change and for them to remember and talk. But this is what Coach Rob Deloach did for me, and that they didn't carry that on, pass it on. And so, what would you like to see arising out of this with regards to the people who participate? You know, a year from now, a week from now, a month from now.
Doc, I really don't have any high expectations, other than hopefully that the community welcomes, us coming into the community, and they just enjoy the opportunity, like I say, the fellowship, because it's bigger than the clothing drive. I want to hear the stories because I had
Mhm.
opportunity. Um, my mother lived in the housing projects at Hitch Village and Garden Homes throughout my childhood, so I know what that experience is like. And to be honest with you, I never knew it was a housing project because everybody had the same furniture from Cohen's Furniture downtown. We all had the same hardwood floors. We had the same heater. We had the same. Everything was the same. So I didn't know that until I got older to realize that, man, this is public housing. You know, we didn't have. Mom only had a air conditioning. Everybody else had a fan in the window. You know,
Mhm.
and if you wanted to get air, you had to sleep by, get in the hallway. And if your mother, if you did right, she wouldn't put a towel by the door and let the air out of her room. So there's stories to tell, about growing up in the housing projects, but through it all, we here, and it made us
Right.
better as human beings because I didn't see it as a struggle. I just know we always had a roof over our head. We had food to eat.
Hmm. Yeah. And you brought something up that for some young people, when they went to the swimming pools, that was the time that they got a meal. They got something substantial with regard to eating. And that's why I look at that being a part of what you're doing with regard to Threads of Hope, providing at least something for some people, because some of them do go home on the weekends and without the proper nutrition, the proper nutritional value coming in what they're eating. You just can't eat and live off of ramen noodles and think that you're going to
No.
thrive.
No, you can't drink sodas and chips and think that that's gonna help you. In some of our communities, we suffer with diabetes. We have other forms of health issues. So, like I say, yes, we're gonna give some clothes away, but we're just gonna just talk about lifestyles and how we can impact this community.
Hmm.
There's been 7 volunteers that plan to get there, and maybe they're in a situation where they can help someone get on the course to get their own home. You just never know
Hmm.
what might come out of this. So I don't want to have high expectation. I just kind of stand neutral, and then we get the feedback from the community on what they thought about it, and if we can do more, we continue to do more.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'll say this again. You all know Coach Rob Deloach is my mortal enemy. My mortal enemy. So, Coach Rob Deloach. Um, so, if some of your alums from HVJ come and support you, how you going to treat them, Coach Rob Deloach? How you going to treat your alums from HVJ?
But Doc, unfortunately, I don't have any alum from HVJ. But I know, the Golden Bulldogs, as we always are the forefront. We always started out. This community is made of great bulldogs. Just do your homework, Doc. You pretty smart. You're a historian. You talk about WW Law. You talk about, all these other great leaders and things. Just do your homework.
Wow. Wow.
But for the community overall, I don't really care what high school you went to. We know who run the city. It goes without saying.
Right, HVJ. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Doc,
Thank-
you guys, you're really Savannah Christian. You had the same colors as Savannah Christian. You're on the same street of the Ren. And like I say, you were part of integration from Savannah Christian to Jenkins High School.
So we will allow the slanderous stuff to go on. We're not going to dignify. We're not going to dignify with the comment. We're not going to dignify. But what we're going to do this right here. We're going to since he got he got to get all indignant. So we're going to we're going to go to another break. We'll come right back. This is Coach Rob DeLoach, and so again, but he has some trouble. That again, he's HBJ Warrior, but he like trying to slip a little bit. Run tell that with Coach Rob DeLoach. Threads of Hope, Saturday.
Hello, world. We're here serving Savannah, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Brooklyn, Houston, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, and the world. The best music all the time. The greatest songs ever made, every time. Tune in to Hot 2100 Savannah and get a taste for your ears. Hot 2100 Savannah, serving Savannah and the world.
When it comes to the city, I'm the key. Gotta go to court in the morning for a plea. What you gotta pay to get, I hit that for free. And when I'm in the streets, yeah, I gotta tote that heat. It's hard for you to touch it, cause I stay up out of reach. Talking about ends dirty, I'ma make them meet. I've been down too long, I be damn if I don't eat. If you want someone to try, I be damn if it's me. I see why you mad, you ain't swaggin' like this.
Hot 21 Savannah and the world. We are here. We're here. We got Coach Rob DeLoach with us, and we're dealing with Threads of Hope. Threads of Hope that's going on this weekend, May 3rd, Saturday, May 3rd, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And so I have to throw this out there for you all understand this right here. Hot 2100 Savannah. Bam, the QR code. Go ahead and scan it. You can get it. You can listen to us on Alexa, Apple CarPlay, on your Droid devices and your iPhones. We can take care of you with regard to the music and community. Music and community. Hot 2100 Savannah and the world. So, Coach Rob DeLoach. How can people get in touch with you if they want to donate, provide items for the the Threads of Hope, the community giveaway?
Doc, they can reach me at 912-224-5769. If they follow me on Twitter, it's Rob at Rob_Deloach. And I am on Facebook as Rob Deloach as well. So the address is listed at, I believe it's 644 Gwinnett Street at the Housing Authority office for Caton Homes. We'll be set up in the back parking lot with music with House Party Boys to go along with this event and a host of volunteers from the city of Savannah.
So, I have a question. I'm going to come back when you talk to volunteers. We're going to come back to that. So, are y'all going to have turkey burgers out there?
But, Doc, you know what I would like to do is partner with Kim's Cafe for the volunteers that they can go over there and have a meal, and that I would take care of the meal as well. They just have to, at the end of the day, give me the receipt, and then we'll make sure that it's taken care of.
All right, I'm gonna do this right here. I'll let you say the ad again. Oh no, hold up. Let me do it like this. Because I'm gonna pass it on because I believe in being a conduit. Because I'm an angel. That's what my job is to do. I'm supposed to be a conduit. So Threads of Hope. This coming Saturday is from 10 to 1. And it is for Caton Homes. May 3rd, Saturday, May 3rd, 10 to 1. And right across from Caton Homes is 714 MLK Junior Boulevard, Kim's Cafe. And repeat what you just said, Coach.
We want to partner with Kim Cafe to be able to feed the volunteers that help bring this event on. Instead of having a vendor out there, we just partner with her. She's across the street. She has great service, had great food, and this is in walking distance from where we'll be hosting.
All right. And so on Saturday, they do close at 1 o'clock. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass this on Miranda, and so that way you two can go and have a conversation. See how the angels will run tell that this is what the angel does. That's why the ungodly stuff that goes on, the ungodly stuff that is said, the lies that are uttered against me, against someone from Heavens B. Jenkins High School, from the Happy Hunting Grounds, to someone where God is the first alumnus of HBJ. So it is stunning to me. To see how I'm about to make stuff happen. What were you about to say, Coach?
It's all about relationships, Doc.
Yeah. That's the angel. That's what the angel does. That's what I'm saying. So that's what we're saying. We have to curtail these lies in your windows and this falsehood. Because again, we need to let God in your life right now. Let that HBJ alum into your life. You are HBJ alum too, but you just got 2 quarters at HBJ. So, but you still HBJ. So I'm just trying to help you out with that. I'm trying to help rectify you. I'm trying to help resurrect you from that stuff, because you're at that 3001 Hopkins Street. It influenced you. It misinfluenced you.
So, Doc, the only 2 quarters I spent at Jenkins was beating them in basketball that I only played 2 quarters.
Okay. All right.
Truth be told, Doc. I have great friends that attended HVJ. They know the story.
We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. And so you talk about influences in the community. You talk about the people who are out there, and how must we function right now? Who are the role models out there right now that you see? Because again, I'm not saying call any names, but who are the role models out there? Who are the role models out there for young people to see? Not necessarily calling names, but that group of them, that element of them. Who's that? What section is that? That you see as being role models for young people.
Well, anytime people are volunteering,
let me back up. Who should be functioning? Because some of them may not be functioning because they might think I'm not a role model. Going back to that Barkley thing, I'm not a role model. But go ahead.
Doc, everybody may not be a role model, but people are always watching you, right? Whether it's good, bad. So, and hopefully, people in our circle. I don't really say a circle because we all bring something different to the table, right? And you and Sam Carter are guys who inspired me to want to be better, right? But my grandmother was a great role model for me. Most people in my church, the elderly people at St. Philip A&M on the Boulevard, were outstanding role models for me. My mother, my father, despite their shortcomings or things that you look at now, they still were my parents. So Coach German at Beach High School, was one of my role models. Because people, you knew G-Man, he really did, he kind of held you accountable at a young age, not even realizing that. So it's so many people that our young people have opportunity to look up for that don't play sports. So, anybody that's a leader out here in the community that's trying to help make the community better. I don't know all of the names, but I know I'm not the only one out here that's trying, to build things in the community. I'm just one leaf on the tree of many that are trying to shake the leaves and make this place better. So there's no knock on anybody, but when you have opportunity, then, we should reach back and try to give back to those who are less fortunate.
Yes, and I was just throwing out there that role models are everyone. Joe, you're saying that everyone, though we may say I'm not a role models are everyone out there. Everyone. I tell people, I say, when you operate a business, guess what? It's not just about capitalism. You are providing education also for someone. That's the education for someone to see and to learn. That even if you are a sanitation worker, you are a role model. That again, each one of us are role models, and people are, just like you threw it on out there, people are watching us. So that means that we have to be careful about how we function with regards, especially when we got young people around us, because again, we understand they're looking and they see us, and that we are a stepping stone for them for success. And so we need to make sure we understand what we're doing and cognizant of what we're doing, because we just going to brush it on off. And that's why I say when people now call themselves YNs, guess what? Some of that came from older people who were also pushing that same insanity. And that so now they germinate in in their mislab, not a proper lab, but their mislab. And so then what happened? We get this misinformation and this misdiagnosis of who you are as a person, that God-given person who's sent here to change the world for the better. And so,
But Doc, a lot of that starts with self-hate, though. A lot of us, we don't like what we see, and we try to imitate and be something that we're never going to be, and just accepting it for what it is, and just try to be better. I adopted this new motto this year is that I wake up to win, and every day that I wake up, I want to be better than I was yesterday, and I want to look forward to tomorrow because it's not promised. Because if I leave here today, they can at least say, Coach went out with a fight. He was always trying to help somebody.
Right.
And it's really not about me. It's about planting the seeds for the generation that's come behind us.
Yes.
And it's already been laid out. We just got to follow instructions.
Yes. Yes.
And don't make it about me. Make it about we.
Right. That's right. I tell folks, never about ego, it's about we go. We go together in success. We go together with regards to greatness. And so
we're better together, Doc.
Right.
Listen, we got to bridge the gaps. For me, I just hold people accountable. If you say you're going to do something, then I expect you, be accountable for what you say you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not going to do it, just be man or woman enough to say, "Hey, Coach, I'm not going to be able to do it," and I'm okay with that.
Right. Right.
But a lot of us say we're going to do something, and then when it comes time to do it, then they got an excuse of why they can't do it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be looking forward to my turkey burgers in July. And
it can be done, Doc.
And I'm looking for my turkey burgers 2 weeks from now. So that's why I think they gotta have turkey burgers. I ain't even push about no plant-based, but I'm just saying turkey burgers, they at least have the turkey burgers also. So yes. And so, Coach, we are winding down. We're winding down. We have this event on Saturday, Threads of Hope, a community clothing drive. This is tied to Caton Homes and the Factory 2.0. What are some closing words you want to provide to the folks with regard to coming out and supporting the event and all of the events that the Factory 2.0 will be involved in?
Doc, this is just a stepping stone of one event to help this community. And I hope that the people that live in the community, if you're listening, to come out and be able to shop as long as you want, as long as we have things that you can utilize in your household with your family, you're more than welcome. And if we run out, then we've done our job. One thing about it, I like to over deliver. So if we have more, then it's always good. And if we run short, then we know that we need to plan more for the next occasion. So either way, I think it's going to be a success. I look for it to be a success. I look for feedback from that community and people, listeners that may want to partner with the Factory 2.0 in another housing project or another community that we think we can lift. If it's a church out there, another organization that want to partner, hey, I'm not hard to find. So the more that we can bridge and network together, the more that we can be more positive role model in this community.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This has been Coach Rob DeLoach on Run Tell That Factory 2.0. Again, having the community clothing drive for folks and residents of Caton Homes, and then also be some entertainment and some food. And so I'm going to pass on the message to Miranda, so then that way she and Coach Rob DeLoach could get hooked up and have a conversation and make it happen for the volunteers who are coming out there. And so I would do, I'm not, well, I guess I got to go ahead and do that. I got to do this. I'm going to do this. I was not going to do it, but then because things went a little awry, I got to do this right here. Number 1, Jenkins High School, The Truth. Number 2, Windsor Forest. Number 3, Savannah High. Number 4, Beach High School. Number 5, Johnson High School. 6, Tompkins Woodville. 7, Groves. 8, Richard Arnold. And St. Pius. Oh, wow. Number 10. So we were going to ask the question, what is the best high school in Savannah, Chatham County, Georgia? No need to even answer. You see it on the ticker tape right there. You see it saying number 1, HVJ. So Coach Rob DeLoach, you went 2 quarters there at HVJ, your freshman and senior year. So again, we're glad to have you. We're glad to have you.
Yeah, Doc, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
That's right.
Because check the annuals.
I guess you skipped the day for the annuals, and then I guess you ran over there, because it was just like, you took the picture during the time when they taking the annual pictures. So you came on Jingle like spring semester. You came over there like spring semester. So that was you did like spring, something like that, And winter probably your freshman year you came spring semester, and during the winter, during the fall, when you're a senior, you came during the winter semester. Winter quarter.
They didn't have transfer portal back then, Doc.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, hey, no telling what went on. You might have got into a fight with the Yamasees or something like that, and you had to run. So, but yeah, let's go. Rob DeLoach. What are you about to say, Coach? What scandalous?
No, Doc, I appreciate you always being an outlet, for the community. And I look forward to continuing our relationship to help uplift our community, and be a voice.
Yes, absolutely. Coach Rob DeLoach, Factory 2.0, making it happen. And we say check out all the shows on Our Black Media, and the Rabbles coming up at 8 p.m. But check out all the shows. Ebony Sports Reporters on Thursday night, and then Incarceration and Corporation on Friday. Watch the Dogs on Saturday. So we say check out all the shows, and check out Hot 2100 Savannah. And guess what? We Savannah and the World.com. Hot 21 Savannah.com. Check us on out. We signing out. We getting out here. Peace. This is Run Tell That.
All right, Doc. Be good.
Yes, sir. Same to you, Coach. Same to you. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.